Good morning, guys. Today we are going to install this guy. This is a Clearsource Ultra with virus guard. As you can see, it is a 3 filter system. So here's your incoming. So 1, 2, and 3. What we're going to do is, a lot of people put it down on the ground. I want it kind of up and secure, out of the way. I originally was going to put it behind that wall, behind the Nautilus, but I decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount it here. I also made, and I'll kind of go over what I did here, I made a bypass so that this will go on here like so. This bypass probably cost me about 50 bucks worth of material to do. Basically that's it. I will be able to shut off these ball valves here, and when we are changing out the filters, this will keep all the water, and then I will be able to take it and go around. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to mount this on this wall here. It'll be high enough to where I can actually slide a bucket underneath there, let it drain out, and not cause an issue with flooding or anything, and it's not going to be in the way of being hit. As you can see, our basement's nice and big. So what I did is I pulled off of these canisters here. I just wrote little numbers on there, that way I know where they are going to eventually go. So I'll pull out the 3 filters. And what I did is I measured out 6 holes on the back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to coincide them on here. I'm going to drill 6 holes in here, and then we're going to bolt these through. It'll be nice and secure on that wall. That wall is nice and solid. Unlike the other 45-degree wall that you use for access, this guy is secured on the bottom and the top. Some people take this filter out. I'm going to leave that as inline. So this will be my pre-filter. So the water coming in will come into this guy, then we'll come out of here, we'll go into here, and then we'll go back into the system. So I'll actually have 4 filters rolling through. We did have a bad experience on one of the campgrounds we were at, to where we were really going through filters. So this should help alleviate that. It's just redundancy, I guess. But so what we're going to do now is we're going to mount that guy up, and then we'll get ready to do the plumbing. Okay, so I'll have Beth span in here and see that we mounted this. As you can see, we've got 6 holes here. These are stainless steel bolts. I drilled a 5/16 hole through this. As you can see, this is pretty, it's about an 1/8 inch steel. It's pretty stout. So and I do have some big fender washers on the back. I use stainless steel just because the nature, there is going to be water there, so that way they won't rust. So now it's nice and stout. We're going to put the filters back in, and then we will get to plumbing this guy. So also, this is our filter 1, and I'll tighten them down as we go. Remember, I did mark these guys as a 1, 2, and a 3. And finally, our 3rd guy. One thing should be noted, the way I have this mounted is inlet, and this is our outlet. So the reason I did that is because the way this cage is set up, obviously I would never be able to get to these filters to tighten or loosen them if I had it the other way. 2, it'll also allow the lines incoming not to be so kinked as well as the outgoing. The outgoing will literally come up and go down right to my manifold, so I don't have to worry about any kinkage there, and then my inbound will go straight out and then kind of come in that back side. The reason I did that, like I said, is for accessibility so that I could get to it. But keep that in mind. The inbound is on your left hand side, outbound is on your right. And so now we'll get to plumbing it. Well, hey guys, how's it going? As you can see, I am in the basement, and I kind of wanted to show you the back of the manifold. So this is on the back of the Nautilus. So this now is where this line here is coming out of the stock filter, and then it goes up here, and then it drops down, and then it runs through the filtration. Then it comes back here, we come back down, and we wrap back into the stock mount for the manifold there. This is the back side. I kind of wanted to show you that to you instead of just saying, oh yeah, it's back there. What I did is I tied these just like Grand Design does, just like everybody else does. I just got a zip tie to secure it. They make these so that you can put a screw through it and just kind of screw it in place. So these are all kind of tight to where they're not going to flap around and move around. Now, the reason I used this instead of this, the big reason, I could not find any of the colored blue or red flex. So this is all rated. It's a 3/4 OD outer diameter, 1/2 inch inner diameter. The stock ones are rated at 80 psi. This is rated at 200 psi. And let's be honest, we're never going to have 200 psi running through this system. It just will not handle it. That's why we have a water regulator, and we only run at 55 psi. So I am not worried about this pipe at all. The only thing I would be worried about would be possibly contamination, like UV rot or something, but because it's inside, again, I'm not worried about that. So I'm going to move to the outside, and I'll show you how I plumbed it on the outside and kind of show you what this unit looks like now that it's all plumbed and put together. Okay, so we have moved back to the other side of the wall here where we actually have this guy mounted, and the water from the stock filter is going to come through this line here, and you'll notice at the beginning of this video that I paused for a second as I was explaining this bypass that I built. Careful eyes will notice that I had this guy over here on this side. It would have never worked, so I fixed that. So no need to nail me in the comments. You can if you want, but I realized my mistake and fixed it. So anyway, to bypass, you would just flip this guy to close. You'd open this guy up, you'd flip this guy, then the water would go all the way around it. It won't come back through here. I can drain, replace these filters, and put it back together. And then I can just open this guy back up, close this guy, and open that. It's going to cause that to flow back through. Now, I do realize that with the bypass, I possibly made a bigger headache for myself because now I have all these joints on here. It's something that I wanted to do to make it easier on myself, and if we were in a situation to where we knew that the water was really bad to where we didn't want to filter it, we could just totally bypass the filters. I don't see that ever happening, but just in case. So anyway, we're coming through the filter, and then we go up here through back the new hose, which will then drop down to the top of the manifold like I was showing you. I'm going to hand this off to Beth. So now that I'm back out here, I just kind of wanted to go over this real quick on how we have this plumbed inside of here. Basically, the only thing we changed was this guy here. We still have our water coming in, going through our manifold and coming back into the filter. That's the same as it has always been stock-wise. What we changed was this. This is the hose that we put on here. So this runs out, and then it runs through the back like I showed you, and then through the filter. This is the one part that was the most frustrating, the hardest to do, the one that made me a sailor. actually made Beth a sailor too.
Yes,
but
yes, it did.
I'll let her tell that story. The big thing is the new hose is 3/4 inch outer diameter to where the old hoses were 5/8. So like I said, I couldn't find those hoses, so we went with the next best thing, which actually was better, it turned out. But trying to get a 3/4 through a 5/8 opening was challenging, to say the least. It's doable, as you can see, but it just takes some time, some patience. I unfortunately was not wearing my patience pants that day. Anyway, when you go to crimp it, you cannot crimp it at 100%. I would say probably about 85%. You go 100%, you're gonna break that band, or you're gonna break the nipple. Ask me how I know. Luckily, it was just the band. So we learned that real quick, but we don't have any leakage whatsoever, so that's a good thing. And then the other thing that I wanted to point out is our inline hose. Now, we were big fans of Zero G. We used them on our travel trailer before this, and we've had the same one on this guy since we bought it. We loved it, but we started noticing probably about 2 or 3 campsites ago that we're getting some galvanization corrosion on the 90-degree connection here. We're like, oh, that's kind of weird. Didn't think anything of it. Well, at the last place, we couldn't get the hose off of this guy. I ended up having to use a couple pairs of channel locks and just destroyed the hose to get it off. So we bought a new Zero G. Figured out, you know, if we have to replace one every, 6 months to a year, no big deal. Because we're using it obviously a lot more than we used to when we camped as, just recreational. Well, over the last couple months, we've been watching people complain about these things, and we thought to ourselves, these guys are crazy. That hose works perfect. It doesn't leak a drop. Well, I'll tell you what, the brand new one not only leaked down there, but it leaked here. Sprayed water everywhere. No matter what we did, we tightened it. And I thought maybe I tightened it too much. We loosened it. Long story short, we decided just to bail on the Zero G. Ordered this guy. Granted, we've only had it on for 3 days, so I can't really give you an honest review. It's made out of the same stuff that I have over here on the drop hose. So that hose, the purple hose, is the same as this hose, same material. And the reason I use this guy is these bibs are always at a different height. Some are high, some are low. But this is a lot of weight right here. This dirt guard plus the brass Y and the brass regulator. So just as a common courtesy, I just grabbed a little 3-foot lip hose, and that keeps that weight off of this, keeps that from breaking. So as you can see, it's a pretty heavy duty material. We like it because it's got the reinforced here on the ends to keep it from kinking right at the joints. So hopefully it holds up. Unfortunately it was broke, so we fixed it, but we'll see how this guy does, and we'll let you know in about 6 months when we do a review on the Clearsource on the actual filters and see how long they last and everything. So keep an eye out for that. Speaking of which, if you hit that bell, you'll know when we put those videos out. Up here it says every Tuesday. That's true, it is every Tuesday, but once in a while we like to throw one out on a Wednesday or a Friday, especially if they're smaller videos, just to get them out so you guys know. So don't forget to give us a thumbs up. It does help. Throw a comment down there, even if it's a critique. We got thick skin, we can take it. Thanks guys, I appreciate it. We always enjoy that you guys take your time out of your day to watch our video. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.